Hi, I'm Mary, a librarian and book reviewer with a focus on stories written for kids, tweens, and teens. Today I get to share with you this book called Who Ate the Little Bug? This is by Hector Dexay and it is the UK edition of the story. So, who ate the little bug? Everyone has some thoughts and ideas, but is it really clear who might have eaten it? As you're going through this fun board book, picture book, you are opening pages that are die cut, and each one reveals a new animal that may or may not have eaten the small bug. So you have the bug in the middle, and it's kind of like a bullseye approach. So as you go in, all of the circles get slightly smaller, and they're all associated with different animals along the way. As you can see, there's not a huge amount of text, so great for very young readers, babies and toddlers especially. This book is designed in a way that's easy for them to be able to turn the pages. Lots of color references and animal references, so you're building awareness of the vocabulary that is useful in describing those things. You'll also have some animals that kids may or may not be familiar with, like the pelican. Depending on where you live, that may or may not be something that you see on a regular basis. So the chunky illustrations make it great for those young readers, especially as their eyesight is still developing. They're going to be able to see the pictures in a way that is accessible to them, so that there's not a huge amount of detail. And then as you go in, the circles get smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller, and you can talk about the animals and why they might have eaten this tiny bug. And don't worry, it's not a sinister or dark ending to the story. So it's a really fun book to explore, especially if kids aren't used to seeing books that have these die cuts in them. The board pages make it really sturdy and helpful for those little kids to be paging through the book on their own. Like I said, the color aspect of the book, the names of the animals inside help to build vocabulary and awareness of descriptive language to be used in the world. And it is definitely designed for a grown-up to be reading with a young child if they're reading the words. Otherwise, children will enjoy just looking and observing the pictures and interacting with them on their own. So this is a fun addition to board book collections for very young readers if you like to have that interactive approach. And if it sounds like a great fit for you or for someone you know, I hope you look for it wherever you get your books.